Media.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. I'm Ricky Ruggie, and joining me again is Derek on a Saturday. This is interesting.
Saturday, yeah, I got to go back to work
Yeah.
tomorrow. I work Sundays and I hate it.
Yeah, my week got kind of messed up because Thanksgiving. I ended up having to work Tuesday, which would have been the regular night we would have done the show, but it is what it
Right.
is. So we're here on a Saturday.
Saturday, yeah, we got Kelly Upoff in the house. What's up,
Yeah.
Kelly? Andrea's in the house from Junction City.
Yep.
Emma Casper's in the house. I forgot to put
Yep.
our banner up here. Shout out where you're watching from. We love to hear that. Amy Barker in the house.
Yeah.
Loving it. We love
Hey,
hearing from
everybody.
everybody.
Thank everybody for coming and joining us tonight. No, it's not the
Megan's
usual
here
night, and
from
sorry
Boise.
about that, but because of Thanksgiving, it kind of got the week going wrong.
Yeah, well, so my phone is messed up. Emma's here from Junction City.
Yep.
My phone's messed up, and it says it's at 39% battery power all the time, no matter what it is.
Oh wow!
And when I get calls and text messages, I don't get them anymore. The other day when you said you called me all those, my phone just sat there in my pocket, didn't do anything.
Really?
Yeah, and I was looking through my and then last night my kids went to a sleepover. And I had like 3 messages from. Luckily, they weren't important. She was just showing me pictures of what was going on, but my phone's not telling me what. So yeah, I'm having trouble.
Yeah, because when I called you, it rang, went to voicemail, and then it said your voicemail box was full and couldn't accept any more messages.
Yeah, my grandpa died on Tuesday too, so I was kind of just hanging out with family, and then I saw on Facebook on Messenger that you had said something, but I was like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot. Yeah. Kansas City in the house. We got Connie Judd from White City. Megan Christine from Augusta, Lori Hayes from Hayes.
Yeah.
She can never move. She is the queen of Hayes. Any more on Kenny? We will.
Unfortunately.
Nothing right now.
I did do a rewrite on his flyer and reposted it, so corrected some things that needed corrected, stuff like that.
Thank you, Megan. He was ready to go. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Lori. Melissa's here from Pittsburgh. Love it.
He said he'd been battling cancer. And...
Yeah, so he had he found out he had cancer like 2 years ago. He's 86 when he died, so he was like 84 when he found out he had cancer. And I don't think it was a super aggressive cancer. They just told him like, we could fight this. And I think he was just like, what's the point? He's religious, as far as he was concerned, he knew what was going to happen in the afterlife. So he was ready to set sail. And yeah, he when it comes to cancer, a lot of times people think like, you think of a really, really rough death, but for the most part, you're so medicated at that point at the end of cancer that, he was just sleeping. And he got to, he got the privilege of being able to call everybody he loves and talk to him one last time a couple weeks ago before he knew it was going to get real bad. But, he's in a better place for sure. She says Linda is still missing.
Yeah, up there in Nebraska.
She says Missouri until Tuesday. Then I'm in Mississippi forever. You're moving to Missouri Mississippi forever. My step grandpa passed away due to COVID on Wednesday. Yeah, it's going around. I mean, that's the thing, especially with COVID going around. You have a lot of people that are just passing away.
Hopefully, Kelly will continue to watch, even though she's in Mississippi.
So she says Linda is still missing. Nebraska State Patrol thinks she might have been murdered. What's the story on that?
That's Linda. I can't think of her last name. I remember the Kleinbell part, but there's another part of the last name. We've covered her case a few times.
Thank you, Jay. Trisha Arnold over in YouTube land, holding it down.
Yep. Dillard, that's it. Thank you, Amy.
Christopher Unruh in the house.
Yep, he messaged me earlier and asked me how things were going.
He's like, didn't hear from you guys this week. You guys okay?
Yep.
Derek's phone doesn't work. Brandon's computer's broken. That's basically what's going on at Kansas Missing and Unsolved right now in the office. Yeah, sorry about that, Sunshine. She says my dad has kidney cancer in the
Yeah.
hospital. That's terrible.
Oh, wow. Sorry to hear that. Okay, says I'm moving there for the time being. I'm not going anywhere here, though.
Right,
That's good to hear.
right. Dillard in the house from Amy.
Yeah.
Oh, she says Dillard. That's the last name,
Linda
Linda
Dillard.
Dillard.
Linda Dillard, yeah.
Wow. Well, we're on a night different than normal, but we are here to hang out
Yeah.
and we're going to cover some cases. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast.
Leaving an abusive relationship is a highly personal, individual decision, but all survivors benefit from having trusted people during this time. Since those experiencing abuse are often isolated by their abusers, it's important to know how you can support survivors on their path to finding safety. If you or someone you know is a victim of domestic violence, please reach out to the hotline at 1-800-799-7233. Again, that's 1-800-799-7233.
Nice little PSA from Brandon Smith, our producer.
All right. I was wondering whose voice that was.
Yeah. Well, it's hard. Stephanie does most of our stuff, but it's hard to get her to sit down. She's always doing stuff.
Right.
So Brandon knocked it out the other day. We're gonna get a better one going, but we wanted to get a placeholder.
Cool.
Definitely, domestic violence is definitely in our heads each week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can ask Derek every week. I said, "Where's that PSA for domestic violence? Where's that PSA for domestic violence?"
Yeah,
I've been really wanting to get it on there.
Yeah, so we're going to talk. I wanted to bring up Dietrich again because the governor's reward of $5,000. Obviously, they're saying they're looking for leads that would lead to an arrest or a conviction of those responsible for the disappearance or suspected murder of Dietrich Foster. These are words that are said by the governor.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look good for Dietrich. And there's 5,000 reasons to say something about this if you know something about this. So Ricky's going to tell you a little bit about Dietrich. We've been covering him for a couple of weeks, and we're going to keep the word out.
Yep, he's missing from Independence, Kansas since April 12th of 2020. He was 37 when he went missing. He would now be 39. He's 5'9", 190 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. He was reported missing on May 12th, and he was last seen around April 12th in Independence. KBI agents and detectives from the Independence Police Department are conducting the case as a homicide based upon findings during the investigation into Foster's disappearance. Again, at the time of his disappearance, he was 37. He would now be 39. He's 5'9", 190 pounds. He has black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Dietrich's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Independence, Kansas Police Department at 620-332-1700 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get Foster brought home to where he needs to be, because I know his family is looking high and low for him and want him brought home. So see if we can help make that happen.
Right. Yeah, that's really, a lot of times you just see these fires that just say missing, and that's pretty much all we know about it. But I mean, this one, it sounds like there's been some talk. There's been some talk going on.
Yeah.
So they must know something. They must know something, and it's just and I'm sharing the show out. If anybody out there feels like they would want to contribute to what we're trying to do here, you can click that share button and let your friends know, let people know that we're trying to do some good here tonight. And we're trying to work on that. Again, flyers are going to look a little bit janky because I'm making them. Again, our producer, Brandon Smith, we're down a computer right now. So we're working on it. We got some parts ordered. But let's talk about this. Zephy or Nia?
Zephania, yeah. She is missing from Topeka, Kansas. And been missing since November 20th of 2021. She's 13 years old. She's 5'1", weighs 120 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes. She left out the back door of her family home on November 20th. Again, she's 13. She's 5'1", weighs 120 pounds. She has black hair with dark brown braids in it and brown eyes. She should be wearing a black coat with a hood on it. If you have any information regarding Zephinia's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9247 or 785-368-9200 or the KBI at 785-296-4017, and see if we can't help get her brought home where she needs to be. I mean, again, she's only 13 years old, so I'd love to see her be found and brought home.
Right.
Definitely would love to get her home.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine, 13 years old and been missing for a week now. Yeah, that is messed up, Kelly. On Matrix case.
Yeah. Too long. Let's talk about Angel Barnett.
Okay. That's one that
This
you
is
brought
the
to
one that
my...
somebody sent to the America Missing Unsolved page, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's missing from Toledo, Ohio since November 18th of 2021. She's 13 years old. She's 4'11", weighs 145 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen at Angola Country Creek getting into a white BMW that may possibly be heading towards Michigan. Again, she's 13 years old. She's 4'11", weighs 145 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a white fleece jacket and gray leggings. If you have any information regarding Angel's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Toledo, Ohio Police Department's Crime Stoppers at 419-255-1111. And let's help get her brought home. Again, another 13-year-old. Let's help get her home where she needs to be.
Right. Yeah, that's too young, man.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Sharing this out to a few places. Saturday's kind of, people are, occupied doing stuff on Saturdays, so it's always a little tougher to get people. This is one that we're at. I mean, next week's going to be a year. Next week's going to be a year.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be a year and what?
Yep.
1, 2,
Alexander
3, 4
Perez.
days.
Yep, missing from Ulysses, Kansas since December 1st. December 1st of 2020. He's 35 years old. He's 5'11", weighs 235, has black hair that he shaves nearly bald and brown eyes. He contacted a family member on December 1st and said he'd be coming over to do some laundry. He never arrived at that family member's home. He's not been heard from or seen by family or friends since then. He had been staying with family and friends prior to his disappearance. Originally, it was believed that Alexander may still be in the local Ulysses area, or he may be in the Garden City area or surrounding areas. But since then, some pretty bad information's come out as far as what may have happened to him. Don't know if it's accurate or not, but makes you wonder. But again, he's 35 years old. He's 5'11", weighs 235. He has black hair that he shaves off and brown eyes. Has a tattoo of a bumblebee on his face underneath his left eye. Has Perez tattooed on one of his arms, and he has a tattoo of a cross on a chain across his chest. If you have any information regarding Alexander's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Grant County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-356-3500 or the Ulysses, Kansas Police Department at 620-356-4600 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't, find out what happened to him and get Alexander brought back home where he needs to be.
Yeah.
It's been, like Derek says, it's been almost a year. It'll be a year in just a few days.
Yeah, this is the last show.
Yeah.
Before it hits a year.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that.
Says, Shared, thank you for helping get folks home. Esbonk's trading post. So you're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in tonight.
Yeah. Well, we got some people here. If you're watching, enjoying the show, share this page. You never know who might have seen some of these people. We're trying to get the word out there. So let's talk about Autumn.
Okay. Autumn Diane Hogg is missing from Lyons, Kansas since November 19th of 2021. She's 15. She is 5 foot to 5'5", weighs between 110 and 125 pounds, has black hair and blue eyes. She has not returned home or made any other kind of contact with family since she went missing. And she's 15 years old. She's 5 foot to 5'5", weighs between 110 and 125 pounds, has black hair and blue eyes. If you have any excuse me, if you have any information regarding Autumn's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Lyons, Kansas Police Department at 620-257-2355 or Rice County, Kansas Dispatch at 620-257-2363 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get information generated as to where Autumn is and get her home as well.
Yeah, my I got a buddy who's either the sheriff or something of Rice County.
Yeah.
Justin Holiday. He was the sheriff in Oakhart for many years, and yeah, he was a good guy. But yeah, Lions is actually it's pretty big size, man. There's a lot of
Yeah. Did you see the video of the guy watching? Are you talking about the video where it shows the guy escorting the girl to the convenience store door and then waiting for her and escorting her back to the car? If that's the video, I talked to Autumn's mom, and she said that has been proven to not be Autumn.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and that the girl in the video was actually safe. She wasn't in any danger of any kind.
Okay.
So, but I've seen the video.
But still, you never know.
It does look creepy when you got a guy getting her out of the back, letting her out of the back seat of the car, walking her to the door of a convenience store. She goes in. He stays right there at the door on the outside and waits for her to come back, and then takes her back to the car.
I mean, that could be suspicious. It also could just be maybe he knew her. Maybe it was a friend's daughter. Maybe it was, he was like, hey, I'll
Yeah.
I mean, I don't go like 3 days without seeing some video of something crazy happening in a gas station. I could see why you'd want to escort. But I mean, again, if she looked anything like Autumn, definitely we need to review that tape. If the police,
there was
it sounds like they did.
I mean, the hair color,
Right.
and that kind of thing. But you really couldn't see her face all that well. But apparently, they were able to confirm it was not her.
Wow.
And that the girl in the video was actually safe. So, and I was
Trish,
glad to hear that.
Trisha's on top of stuff, man. Trisha knows stuff.
Yeah, thank you, Trisha, for pointing that out, though. Appreciate that.
Yeah, we're gonna do one more. Actually, let's take a quick break, real quick. We wanted to go ahead and run a few lines tonight. We'll be right back after this.
If you or someone you know is thinking of running from home, has run away, or if you are a runaway ready to go back home, call 1-800-RUNAWAY. That's 1-800-786-2929.
You hate to use that word, but sometimes it's the easiest way to, I don't know. And the only reason that word became a bad word was because you would have people get abducted and their parents would go to the police and say, my child's been abducted. And they would be like, they're just a runaway. So really, runaway is not a derogatory term in the sense that that's kind of what's happening. Somebody is running away from their house, but the reason it's dangerous to use the word runaway is because you want to make sure everything's taken seriously.
Right.
But that's for anybody out there who is on the run, whatever you want to call it. Call that number. They can help you get some help.
Yeah.
And
there's also a stigma associated with that term runaway too, because a lot of people automatically assume they hear runaway and they think, well, it's a bad kid, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a bad kid that needs their butt busted or whatever, but it's not always the case. And then I don't always like to see them all lumped in as runaways because sometimes it's not the case. And like
running away is not a kid thing. Adults run away from stuff, like people run away from problems. It's called fight or flight. It's called anxiety. Let's talk about Gabriella.
Yeah. And like I was saying, just because they ran away, I mean, did they do it because they wanted to, or did somebody, talk to them,
encourage them to?
Yeah. But anyway, this is one that I just posted this morning. I've been trying to get it posted for a few days, but I had to nail down some information with her mom, and I was finally able to do that. Gabriella, I'm trying to remember how to pronounce that. I think it's Ayakavachi, I believe is what it is.
Okay.
It's Ayakavachi. She went missing from Centerview, Missouri on November 22nd, 2021. She left her residence in the city limits of Centerview on November 22nd in the early morning hours en route to an unknown location. She's 15 years old. She's 5'4", weighs approximately 175 pounds. She has black hair and blue eyes. She usually wears all black and should be wearing maroon Doc Martin style boots. If anybody has any information regarding Gabriella's disappearance or of her whereabouts, please call the Johnson County, Missouri Sheriff's Office Central Dispatch at 660-747-5511. And let's see if we can't get Gabriella home where she needs to be.
Right.
I tried to find some good pictures of her from her Facebook, and that was about the best. I mean, the one on the left was the one that Johnson County Sheriff's Office is using in their post.
It's probably the better picture. There doesn't look like there's like makeup or much of a filter. It just kind of looks like.
According to her mom, she wears her makeup like the picture on the right quite frequently.
Okay.
It looks like the makeup on the left is about the same, but maybe a different type filter, possibly. I don't know.
We've talked about it 100 times, but like it's like,
yeah.
I'm glad that anybody that wants to express themselves, whether using filters on a phone or makeup and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm anybody, however you want to express yourself. I think that's a beautiful thing, but boy, does it make it hard to find some people. Whenever there's no pictures of somebody without their makeup and stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think everybody should just have a picture of themselves without any filters on.
Yep, they often run away from abuse as well.
That's true.
And I agree, they still need to be found. Tricia says, I put many runaways on the bus home over the years. That's good.
That is awesome, Tricia.
That's awesome, Tricia. And then we got Connie up here saying, Kenny.
We'll get there. We'll get there in just a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Amanda.
Okay.
This is the title of the show.
Yeah. Amanda DeWeese is missing from Nashville, Tennessee since August 20th of 2021. She's 39 years old. She is 5'5", weighs 150 pounds. She has brown hair and blue eyes. Her last known location was Nashville, Tennessee on August 17th to purchase a kayak. Amanda's last communication was by text on August 20th to a family member, saying she would contact the family member in a couple days for a ticket back home to Oklahoma. She has not been heard from or seen since then. Again, she's 39 years old. She's 5'5" and weighs 150 pounds. She has brown hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Amanda's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Midwest City, Oklahoma Police Department at 405-739-1306 and see if we can't get Amanda found and back home to her family in Oklahoma.
Right. That's scary.
Yeah. Yep, and I've been talking to her sister and got this information for the flyer came from her sister. So
it's always scary when an adult goes missing in 2021. I mean, I understand going missing in the 70s and 80s where you're just not by a phone and people can, it's like you can go, but like to think that, Amanda hasn't been able to find some way to find a phone. Stranger going to a store, it makes you really worry, like, because you're like, most people, if they didn't have their phone with them, they would at least find a phone. You'd be able to find a phone or something, but just to know that it's been since August and not a peep, and I don't know, it's sad, man.
Yeah, it is. I know they say an adult can go missing if they want to and this and that, which, I guess they can, but it still doesn't make it easy on the family members home wondering what happened to them.
No, or friends or anything. I mean, it's always, and obviously anytime somebody goes missing and they're found safe, like, I don't think anybody's mad at them or anything, but you just hope that that's the case in this situation. You hope that, Amanda shows up and says, I wasn't missing, but I mean, August to now is a long time. Unless she felt like she needed to ghost everybody in her entire life, I don't really see a reasonable explanation for radio silence since August.
Yeah. So hopefully we can help get her found and back home to her family in Oklahoma. I mean, that's concerning. It's been a couple months now, almost 3 months, a little over 3 months.
That's a long time to be unaccounted for.
Yeah, it is. Just hope she's okay.
Right. Let's talk about Haley's show.
All right. That's one my brother actually brought to my attention. Missing from Gassville, Arkansas since October 1st of 2021. She's 15, 5'5", weighs 130 pounds, brown hair and hazel eyes. She was helping her family move to a new home on October 1st when Haley said she was going to take the trash out. About 10 minutes later, her mom went outside to look for her, and she wasn't there. 2 days later, a note appeared at their home. The note stated in part that Haley left to prove to her family she can make it on her own. It also read, "I need to do this, so don't look for me. I will be back. I will make you happy for me. I hope you know I love you." Haley's family believes she may have been lured into sex trafficking. Haley was drugged and assaulted by a neighbor in July. Dustin Brandenburg, 20, is in jail awaiting trial in that case. Haley suffers from PTSD and depression and did not take any of her required medication. Again, she's 15 years old. She's 5'5", weighs 130 pounds. She has brown hair and hazel eyes. She has a healing cut on her lower right arm. If you have any information regarding Haley's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Baxter County, Arkansas Sheriff's Office at 870-424-4636 or anonymously through the tip form at www.baxtercountysheriff.com/crime-tips. Tips and information may also be sent via email to the Baxter County Sheriff's Investigation Division at cid@baxtercountysheriff.com. So let's see if we can help get her found and back home to where she needs to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
And this is, I mean, I look
she's
at these
been through a
pictures.
lot. She's been through a lot.
That's what I was gonna say, man. I look at these pictures, and I don't want to say. I just want to see a kid, but I'm not looking at a kid. I'm looking at a human being with problems, and to go through something like what her neighbor did to her. That's I hate to say that, but that's something that usually takes a couple decades of counseling to understand.
Yeah.
It's like what was done to her was, it was horrible. It's not something that she's just going to shake off, and to know that she's 15 and dealing with that, and then knowing that this person's next door. I mean, I don't know. That's a lot to handle for anybody, let alone a 15-year-old kid,
Right.
You never know what somebody's going through at the end of the day. You might want to watch how you treat people.
Definitely. And just I hope and pray wherever Haley's at, she's safe and she's not being harmed.
Right.
She's already been through enough. She doesn't need to be through anymore.
Right.
So let's hope she's found and brought home.
Yeah, that's too young. We're going to go ahead, and we've covered this case a little bit. We have a couple cases that we're going to pretty much cover a lot. We might rotate them in and out each week, but these are just ones that, we're kind of putting our foot down, saying enough's enough. We want to be a part of the solution. Let's talk about Dana Bruce.
Okay. Dana Bruce is missing from Sedalia, Missouri. Been missing since October 4th of 2008. She was 23 when she went missing. She's now 36. She is 5'2", weighs 98 pounds, has brown hair and green or hazel eyes. Dana was last seen at her children's babysitter's home in Sedalia, Missouri. She had left the children there earlier that day so she could go out for the evening. She returned at midnight and gave the babysitter more money and asked her to watch the children for the rest of the night. Dana was seen at Malone's Bar on Main Street with a young man driving a late model red Ford F-150 truck earlier on the night of her disappearance. She left with the man at 11:30 p.m. Police have identified the man with on the night she vanished. He traveled to Atlanta, Georgia after her disappearance, and police questioned him about Bruce after he was arrested there on unrelated charges of marijuana possession and driving on a suspended license. Authorities haven't named him publicly, but they are calling him a person of interest in her case. He told his questioners that he and Dana parted ways after they left the bar, and he never saw her after that. She left all her belongings behind, including her hairbrush and toothbrush. She doesn't have credit cards, debit cards, checking account, cell phone, or a car. Again, she was 23 when she went missing. She would now be 36. She's 5'2" and weighs 98 pounds. She has brown hair that was colored brown at the roots and black at the ends with red highlights and green or hazel eyes. She was last known to be wearing a black shirt with the word Rebel and silver lettering on the front and blue jeans. She has a tattoo of a teddy bear with wings and the name Dylan on her upper left arm. She is blind in her left eye. She has a 2-inch scar along her lower spine and a staple scar on her right shoulder. Her ears are pierced 1 time each. If you have any information regarding Dana's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Sedalia, Missouri Police Department at 660-827-7823 or 660-826-8100 or the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or their toll-free number 866-362-6422 and see if we can't get her found and back home where she needs to be.
I mean, sounds a little fishy. She leaves with some guy. He takes off after she's missing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, talk about the worst luck in the world. You happen to be the last person to see somebody, and you happen to just do something weird like take off and move away. I don't know. I don't know. I what do you do? Short of making that person like, because if this person that she left with didn't do anything, I feel like they obviously know more than they're saying.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they didn't have anything to do with it. Maybe they know and they're afraid to say something. Like, I don't know, man. Short of just make, I don't know, how do you make somebody tell the truth? You can't. That's sort of why
Yeah.
because only whoever was there that night knows what's going on with Dana, and
Right.
they're not talking.
Right. Somebody needs to do some talking.
Andrea says, "I hope she's been found. It's been way too long." It sounds really fishy, says Trisha.
I mean, it's been 13 years. Somebody needs to
Yeah.
start talking.
There's got to be something. But we'll keep showing her picture. Hopefully, if you're out there watching this or listening to the podcast, if you've ever heard the name Dana Jane Bruce come up in conversation, pay attention, because a lot of people want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and talk about, is it Jamira?
I believe it's Jamira, yeah.
Okay.
She is missing from Topeka, Kansas since November 22nd of 2021. She's 15. She's 5'3" to 5'8". She weighs between 120 and 140. She has black hair and brown eyes. It's believed that she's still in the local Topeka area. Again, she's 15. She's 5'3" to 5'8", weighs between 120 and 140. She has black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Jamira's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9247 or 785-368-9200 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get her found and back home where she needs to be. Hopefully she's safe and okay where she's at.
Yeah.
And
a lot of 15-year-old people tonight. This is a lot of unaccounted, young people. That's scary.
Yeah. And we're getting into the colder months now where it may be 60, 65 degrees during the day, but it's dipping down into the low 30s, upper 20s at night right now. So it's getting pretty cold out there.
My niece lives with me. She's 15. And, I trust her to be home alone and stuff, but never would I be like, well, go out and have fun, come back in a week. It's just like, that's scary out there, Topeka's a big place.
Definitely.
And anybody that, unless they don't know you're 15, but anybody that's okay with you being around and they know you're 15, then they definitely do not have your best interest at heart.
Oh, definitely.
So it's just one of those things, like, I don't know. You see these young people take off, and you're just like, they have to be somewhere, if they're safe, but well, the definition of safe, depending on what that means. But I mean, if they're like hanging out with some adult that has the ability to hide somebody, like who are these people that are harboring a 15-year-old kid?
Right.
That there's flyers for. I mean,
yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with the Gabriella Iacovacci. I mean, she's apparently got a boyfriend that's almost 18. Here she is 15, and I don't know. I mean, he claims not to know where she's at, and they've checked his where he's living at a couple times and didn't find her. So I mean, I don't know. I hope she's safe and okay where she's at, and be returned home soon.
Yeah, for sure.
I was thinking about that. I mean, these girls that are 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, any guy that's an adult in their 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s or whatever that's sitting there having, messing around with a girl that young and wanting to do things to her that are inappropriate to a girl that young, they just need to check themselves into a hospital and get their minds right. you know, I mean, because that's just wrong. And, you know,
Yeah,
while they're getting their minds right, they need to get right with God and get their hearts right too. You know, for that matter.
yeah. I don't know. I just feel like
I
I
say that.
don't understand how anybody would,
I
you
say that
know.
because one of my daughters, she's on Snapchat, and she got a snap from a guy that was like 31, 32 years old, trying to coerce her into sending a new pic. She told him, "I'm going to show my dad this, and I'm going to block you," and that's exactly what she did. Showed it to me when I got home from work, and then she blocked him.
Wow.
So, like, 31-year-old dude messing around with a teenager. What in the heck is he thinking?
That's something you call Chris Hansen on, man. That's a little.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little. See, I don't know, man. I don't have daughters, but like I hear these horror stories of like,
Mm-hmm.
dads find out their daughters are being like talked to like that online, and I'm just
Yeah,
like, why aren't you in jail right now? Like I
right.
probably would have went and found them and broke their legs or something.
Yeah.
That's creepy. That's creepy as hell. You're watching the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. We'll be right back right after this with more cases.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a suicidal crisis or emotional distress, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.
All right. This is another Ohio case. Paris Lachelle Hobson. And trying to get her flyer up here. My computer would cooperate with me.
Thomas Landry Schaefer saying prayers. Trisha Arnold holding down YouTube. Go ahead.
Okay. She is missing from, I hope I'm saying this right, Massillon, Ohio. She's been missing since December 25th of 2019. She was 26 when she went missing. She would now be 28. She is 5'2", weighs between 220 and 230. She has brown hair and brown eyes. She said she was going to take a walk to the nearby park to clear her head. Later on that evening, her mother became concerned when Paris did not return. Her cell phone was then found on the charger in her vehicle. Again, at the time of her disappearance, she was 26. She would now be 28. She is 5'2" tall, weighs between 220 and 230. She has brown hair and brown eyes. She was last known to be wearing a burgundy shirt, blue jeans, and black boots. If you have any information regarding Paris's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Massillon, Ohio Police Department at 330-830-1735 and see if we can't help get Paris found and back to her family. As we're coming up on almost 2 years for her that she's been missing.
I'm telling you, people know something.
Yeah.
Somebody always knows something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very pretty young lady. She needs to be found and brought home.
Yeah.
And there's
You know what I
Roxanne
like about
saying,
her? Oh,
hi, y'all. Just a little late. It's okay, Roxy.
She Paris here has a great smile.
Yeah, she does.
And every smile you can tell, like it's just every picture is a different picture, but she's smiling. You know, you can tell she smiled a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I hope there's some resolution on that because that's gonna be
definitely.
That's gonna be tough. That's 2 years.
Yeah.
Let me see. There we go. Any more on Kenny Wright check? Well, the more you mention it. Hey, actually, I said now that you mention it, we got him coming up just right now.
Good deal. Let's see. Hey, Kenny Wright check's missing from Salina, Kansas since November 4th of 2019, so just over 2 years. He was 69 when he went missing. He's now 71. He's 5'9", weighs 175 pounds. He has gray hair and blue eyes. Sometimes he does use the last name Brown. He does suffer from diminished mental health capabilities and is on disability. He has not tried to access the funds since he was last seen. He may have family in the northwest Kansas area, possibly around Colby. He was last seen at the Gospel Mission in Salina. He left there and hasn't been seen or heard from since. He does not have a cell phone or a vehicle or any identification. His mode of transportation over the years that I've seen him has always been a bicycle. So, and there was some confusion on that as far as, I mean, I was told it was stolen and then a new one was he got a new one, so I don't know if it was the old one that was stolen or the new one that was stolen. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Again, at the time of his disappearance, he was 69. He'd now be 71. He's 5'9", weighs about 175 pounds, has gray hair and blue eyes. And again, we covered some other information on him before, as far as he had been evicted from his apartment, which was right catty corner from the police department, and a police officer took him out to the mission. And from the information I was given, and I have not been able to confirm it or anything, but apparently he was having an issue with another resident of the mission and decided to leave there. And that was the last time he'd been seen or heard from. So I'm hoping they looked into whoever he was having an issue with to see what they know about what might have happened, or if that person may have been involved. I hope they've checked into all of that. I don't know.
Right.
But if you do have any information regarding Kenny's disappearance, or you know his whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210, or the KBI at 785-296-4017. Initially, police thought he may have went to Wichita, but they haven't been able to confirm that or find any evidence of that. But for some reason, they had thought that in the beginning. So hopefully somebody out there knows something about where Kenny is or what may have happened to him, and they just need to step up and speak up, because there's a lot of people worried about Kenny.
Exactly. All right.
I wish we had more to report on it, but right now, there hasn't been any media coverage. The police haven't released any information on their Facebook. The only information that we have is what we keep sharing every week, and hopefully we can have some more information to update soon. I know Dennis from Muddy Water Search and Recovery was going to try to organize a search, and I'm hoping he can do that and see what we can learn from that, hopefully. So I'll keep you apprised on that. If Dennis can get that set up, and when he gets it set up, I'll let everybody know about that.
That's a good question. Roxanne says, I would like to know how Kenny lost his apartment since he had payees.
From what I have been hearing and seeing in comments on posts and stuff, is apparently the payees were not very good about making sure Kenny had money when he wanted it. They were pretty tight with it. And as a result of that, he would go around town picking up scrap metal and taking it over to Sly Iron and Metal and cash that in for a few extra bucks, so he had some pocket money. So that's the information I heard. That's, like I said, that's all I know. It'd be considered hearsay, but that's what I've been told and have heard.
Right.
I don't know who the payees are, or I'm not familiar with them in any way. So
Connie says, I pray someone now has a heart. Please say something.
Yeah.
It's definitely been too long. I'd like to see some resolution on that. That's just been way too long of a situation.
I would like to see them actually come out with some kind of a statement of some sort, with some kind of an update on what they've done or what they're planning on doing, or what they've learned or something.
Right.
Yeah. That's one of my biggest frustrations with the police department here, is they seem to think less is more, and I don't necessarily agree with that.
Right. Okay. We got another comment here. She said, me too. He had a payee.
My understanding was he had two payees, but I'm not sure if it was one or two, but I've heard both, so I don't know for sure.
I'd like to know how worried they are about it, just to know if they're looking for Kenny. Let's talk about Travis.
All right. We actually did cover him last week, but I added the picture on the right that was sent to me and reposted it. Hence, that's why we're covering it again. And he's missing from Overland Park, Kansas since November 10th of 2021. He's 42, 6'1", weighs 250 pounds, has brown hair and blue eyes. Travis does live in Lawrence, but he works in Overland Park. He's not answering his cell phone, and messages sent to his various social media accounts are not being delivered. It's unknown if his phone is dead or shut off. Again, he's 42 years old. He's 6'1", weighs 250, has brown hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Travis's disappearance, or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Overland Park, Kansas Police Department at 913-895-6300, or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And hopefully we can help get him found and back to where he needs to be safely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Andrew, and talking about Kenny says, as sad as this, people take advantage of elderly people. It's true.
That is true. Especially somebody in Kenny's position where he does have those intellectual disabilities. And,
Right.
He's a nice guy, though. I mean, I really hate to see anybody do him wrong because he is such a nice guy.
Right. Yeah. We've talked about this case quite a bit too, but me and Ricky have both talked a little bit to Colton's mom, and she's really at her wit's end with this thing, and would like some resolution. So Ricky's going to tell you about Colton Barrera.
Yeah, when I can find his flyer, I had it. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Yeah, he's missing from Russell, Kansas, on September 26th of 2008. Got that wrong. He was 17 when he went missing. He would now be 31. He's 5'9", weighs 135 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. A friend of his dropped him off at an outdoor skate park. Colton was going to call him when he wanted to be picked up, but he never did call. Originally, authorities believe he left on his own accord, but Colton's family doesn't believe this because he wasn't having any problems that would cause him to run away, and he did leave his wallet and identification behind. Recent information suggests that Colton may have been killed and his body hidden. His case does remain unsolved, and again, he went missing from Russell on September 26, 2008. He was 17 when he went missing. He would now be 31, 5'9", 135 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Colton's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Kansas City field office of the FBI at 816-512-8200 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get information generated as to what happened to Colton and get him brought home safe.
Right.
Sorry about my dog.
Oh, it's been a while since your dog's been on the show.
Scared the heebie-jeebies out of me.
Yeah, and I found out Colton, his dad, is from my hometown, Elkhart, Kansas.
No, really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I've asked around. It was a long time ago that he was there. I don't know if he's from there, but she said that he had lived in Elkhart, Kansas. I don't know if he was from there, but she said he lived there for a while.
Wow.
So maybe that's why I have a connection here with Colton. He's apparently the son of somebody who I consider family just because they shared the same. I mean, I hate to say it, but if you're from Elkhart, Kansas, you're a part of a club. So it's a pretty unique town to really. I mean, I'm sure every town could say that, but Elkhart, Kansas is a great town. And to know that maybe his dad called that town home, it's like I feel like we gotta find something out. And his dad's actually passed away. So.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
I didn't know that either.
Right. So this
That's
is
sad to hear.
It's kind of time to get some resolution on this.
Yeah.
And then the last case we have tonight is going to be Robert Jones.
Okay. Robert Bob Nicholas Jones went missing from Topeka, Kansas on October 4th of this year. He's 56. He's 5'6", weighs 140 pounds. He has dark brown with gray hair and hazel eyes. He was last seen by family on the southwest side of Topeka off of 21st and Gage Boulevard. He is homeless, but he usually frequents the downtown area, the wood area by Cushenberry Park by 15th and Adams, and central Topeka. Again, he's 56 years old. He's 5'6", weighs 140 pounds, has dark brown hair that is graying or salt and pepper, and hazel eyes. He usually wears hoodies or coats, jeans, and either boots or tennis shoes. And he always wears a hat, is what I'm told from his daughter. And if you have any information regarding Robert's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9247 or 785-368-9200 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Robert found and back home where he needs to be so his family knows that he's safe.
All right.
And hopefully he is safe and staying warm, being that he's homeless.
Right. Right.
Yep.
Well, we had a small but captive audience tonight. I really appreciated them being around.
Yeah, considering we did the show on the fly.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I'm glad everybody that joined us and stuck with us through it. Greatly appreciated. I know there's several cases we repeat every show, and just want to help get them found and brought home. It's been a long time for for all of them. Some longer than others, but too long nonetheless.
Right.
Kim Steinle saying hi all. Hi Kim. Nice. Yeah. I hope everybody had a safe and happy Thanksgiving and spend it with family and friends. Yep, I spent it watching my Cowboys get beat.
Yeah.
And Pam says she's here, just quiet, and she's on the YouTube.
Nice. She's been here a few times.
Yeah.
Good Pam has been here a few times. I like that. Hanging out with Trisha over there. Trisha, are you still here? I need to ask you a question. Please still be here, Trisha. I'm gonna wait 2 minutes before we leave this show because I have to ask Trisha a question.
Okay.
Please be here, Trisha. I have a question.
Yeah.
Because she is our very first ever person to buy merchandise. And real quick, just to let you know, she's here. Okay.
Good.
Trisha, did you get your merchandise yet?
Yeah, she actually did. I saw a post where
she did a post.
She actually did a comment to a post about somebody commenting that the people modeling the hoodies and stuff were smiling, and missing persons weren't something to smile about. And I can't remember what exactly Trisha said. It was something to the effect of you can something about you can still enjoy life, but still look for missing persons, and that she had gotten her hoodie, and it was great.
Awesome. Okay, that's all. I just needed to know if you got it because she's the first person to. Now, we don't really make hardly any money on that, like at all, like $5 if that. But it does help. Right now, we're down a computer, and we actually have parts coming to help fix our situation. They're coming from China. Oh, awesome! Did you save the picture she posted?
She didn't post the picture.
Oh, she didn't post the picture. Okay.
It'd be cool if she would send us a picture wearing her gear. That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. But yeah, so parts are coming from China right now. So we should have Brandon back to doing our flyers, making them nice, and have some nicer located safe soon. But yeah, really we don't really make anything when we sell merchandise, and it's really just to spread the word. The word. Hey, we have a fun time here every week, and we want as many people to show up and help us find people. So
I haven't even ordered my hoodie yet because I haven't been able to afford to do it yet.
Me either, man.
But that's my plan.
You're right.
I want a hoodie. I want a hoodie and a hat.
Comes around, I'm gonna get a couple of things with the KMU logo on it.
I want to get a hoodie and a hat.
I think she says she's wearing it. Oh, nice. She's wearing her profile pic. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think we should both get the hat at least.
Yeah,
and maybe a shirt, and we can just look nice every week.
There you go.
And we have to pay for them too. That's why we don't have them yet.
We're probably
just like everybody.
Beginning of the year to do it and get it when my tax return comes back.
Right.
Or I get my profit.
Oh, I'm telling you, man, when tax season happens, this show is getting an overhaul. We're both going to have hoodies, hats. It's going to be a good time.
I would actually like to see I can get the darn thing over here. I would like to actually see rubber bracelets like that.
I think we can do that. We don't make any of this stuff ourselves. We go through like one of those third-party sites where they handle everything. I just wanted to make sure that an order went through and the person that paid money got a product. That's all I wanted to make sure happened. Because Ricky's brother ordered a hoodie, right?
Yeah, my brother ordered a hoodie. He's waiting. He ordered it in red because he is a Chiefs fan.
Gross.
So he ordered it in red, and he's waiting on it to get there. Matter of fact, he asked me today when he was going to get it, and I said, I don't know.
Trisha, if you know anything about getting monetized, we're all ears.
Yeah.
Send Ricky a message. We would love Yeah, we're not trying to get rich. It'd just be nice
No.
to pay our bills, basically.
Yeah. I've actually watched other YouTubers and they talk about being monetized and this and that, but they don't actually. I mean, I know they talk about doing it like with Patreon and
Right.
and that kind of thing, which we have a Patreon set up, but it's not doing very well. So I'm kind of
Get
like
out of here, Pam.
not real hopeful on Patreon right now. Sorry, I dropped something.
We got to get rid of Pam. She's a Chiefs fan.
Go Chiefs! Oh man. Actually, I have to admit, Chiefs are my second team. I have to admit that much, except for when they're playing Dallas.
You know, I don't like the Chiefs just because some of my best friends are Chiefs fans. But I like Patrick Mahomes, obviously. I like Travis Kelce. So I think that they're a good team. But when they lose, I like to make fun of my friends on Facebook. Grow YouTube audience. We would love to do that as well.
There's one thing we forgot to do.
What's that?
And we were talking about it last show. We got talking about Dustin Diamond and this and that and the other. And I was saying I was going to show the picture that I had taken with Dustin Diamond when he did a stand-up show here in town. So here is that photo. I was a mite heavier then and a mite younger. But yeah, that's the picture I taken with Dustin Diamond, aka Screech from Slave Louisville. Yeah.
Get out of here, Lori.
That was cool. That was cool. I enjoyed that.
Oh no, we're covered in Chiefs fans.
Trisha,
get out of here. You're a Cowboy. Oh God, this is getting worse.
All right.
You know who? Yeah, I've been a lifelong Chicago Bears fan, and I hate team hoppers. But now that I've lived in Phoenix for 4 years, and the Arizona Cardinals have only lost like one game this season, I'm starting to kind of be an Arizona Cardinals fan too. Now there'd be a second team. They'd be a second team, but it doesn't hurt that the Cardinals are doing good this year because I'm right here in town. I can go catch a couple games. And but yeah, the Bears are my team and they suck. So
yeah.
Oh, gross, man. Emma says go Chiefs too.
Yeah, like I said, Chiefs are my second team unless they're playing Dallas, but yeah.
Right.
So I'll have to watch the Chiefs tomorrow, see who they're playing and what time they're playing.
You know what though? That Chiefs Raiders game, that was a really good boring game. No, that wasn't even a boring game. There was the Bears game was a boring game. The Chiefs Raiders game, that was a good game, man. Now, if you guys could get your field goal kicker to make a field goal, you would have had the game.
Yeah. He missed that stinking extra point, and then he tried a 59-yarder. He bounced it off the upright.
He left 4 points on the field, and you guys lost by what, 1?
I think it was 2.
Y'all had it beat if he'd have hit those 2.
Yeah, we would have won it if he'd have hit there.
And I feel bad for the kicker.
Tomorrow's the Chiefs bye week. Okay, so I'll watch the Chiefs tomorrow then.
I gotta work all day, so I can't watch anything. But I better get out of here, man. My family's wanting to go do something.
All right. Well, and thank you everybody, and we will be back to our regular show schedule. Next week will be December 2nd for the next show, which will be Thursday. So we'll be back on our regular rotation starting next week until, of course, around Christmas, and then we'll kind of get messed up again.
Right.
So, yeah, until we see you guys again on Thursday night, you guys stay safe. God bless. Have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you on Thursday night.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a suicidal crisis or emotional distress, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.